Once again, it's on. It's Monday, so you know we have to holler at our 50-50 elected mayor of Kansas City, Missouri, Mayor Quentin Lucas, talking all things KC. Now, the new KC Bus Riders Union is calling on the city to fully fund public transportation and protect accessibility, Mayor Lucas, especially as bus fares are set to return in June of this year after nearly 6 years of free service. For thousands of Kansas Cityans, seniors, working class families, people without cars, the bus is not optional. It is survival. Is it realistic for Kansas City to institute a fare-free transit long term? And how do you plan to work with this new union to make sure riders aren't left paying more for service that many say has already become unreliable?
I look forward to working with the Bus Riders Union. I'm a big fan of the city bus. I believe that it should be something that works well for everybody everywhere. My only slight critique would be, and I read one of the news stories about it, it mentioned a woman who lives in Lenexa, Kansas now, who wants the opportunity to get into the city more efficiently. I stand by that, but the challenge is we need more jurisdictions than just Kansas City, Missouri alone. Me and Brian paying the taxes to make sure that we have a regional system. We cannot have a city of 520,000 in a metro area of, I think, about 2.2 to 2.4 million that is funding 90% of the bus service. We have a lot of jobs, a lot of connections all around the community. So I'm all about making sure we can find ways, but it shouldn't just be coming to Kansas City City Council, getting the same tax base that funds a big chunk of everything else to fund this as well. Instead, we need to work together on long-term solutions. That's what I hope to work with this group on.
So you're saying that you expect other municipalities like Lee Summit, Raytown, if they're involved in this bus route, you want them to be involved with the taxes too?
Yeah, let me be clear, right? Johnson County has an almost $2 billion budget. I mean, it is time that more jurisdictions step up in connection with how we keep people moving in this region. If it was just going to be a KCMO bus, and I know people tell me y'all got all the routes, we can save a lot of money if we just cut all of them that leave the city. I don't know if that would be good for anybody, but that's the sort of thing that I think we need to make sure that we're working on long term. And that's what I hope the Bus Riders Union and ATA work with us on in the future.
Mayor Lucas, this past weekend, a teen was killed in a mass shooting. And a couple weeks ago, 2 women were killed in a nightclub shooting. It feels like the violence is on the rise recently. Other than shutting down businesses or even certain areas, what else can we expect from the city in response?
You know, I think in a few different ways. I met with the juvenile court last week about what's going on with our kids. Is there a particular challenge? Are we doing well? Is there anything different? What I learned from them was that we have invested mightily in intervention for young people. The challenge is usually you get wrapped up into the system in some way. For people like our victims in this weekend's tragedy, and I would assume likely our assailants being close in age as well, we need to find a way to get to teenagers earlier. Some of that is the opportunities, the coaching, the sports, the music, and beyond. But we also need to find a way to get conflict resolution more actively in our schools. At City Hall, I'm continuing to work on ways that we invest in becoming a man and working on womanhood. BAM Wow is the name of the program. That's in the Hickman Mills School District, particularly at Ruskin High School, where I will be later today. I think we need to continue to try to find ways to get in front of our kids before we run into these challenges. I'll always also say getting guns off the street is a key part of it. I'll say it, and even if people don't listen, we need to make that change.
We're talking all things KC with our 50-50 elected mayor, Mayor Quentin Lucas. Mayor Lucas, you attended the Prospect Corridor Town Hall about the alcohol impact area proposal a few weeks back. A lot of voices online, many not even from that community, are weighing in. But the people who live along Prospect are asking for safety, less loitering, and cleaner corridors. After hearing directly from residents, Mayor Lucas, what was the real sentiment in the room? And how do you balance community safety with concerns about over-policing or economic restrictions?
It's simple for me. I hate to bring it down too low. People in the corridor and in the neighborhood say we want to be safe. We don't want to see, a bunch of onesies, loosey little airplane-sized liquor bottles all around our community. We don't want to see the person coming back and forth who's loitering, who's doing all types of other stuff in the neighborhood, causing more problems. I'm all about a soft hand of the criminal justice system and finding people opportunities. But let me tell you why I don't have sympathy necessarily. Yes, we've heard from a lot of business owners who see the prospect, who see the inner city as an area from which they can extract. We tired of that. You can't just come to a community, try to make as much money as possible, leave crime, other issues, public drunkenness, all of these in your wake. And a lot of these folks are quick to say, well, hey, we should blame KCPD. We should blame somebody else. Half the time, and y'all seen this, 35th and Prospect, other types of places, we've got police response. We've got people coming back and forth. I mean, look, I've made money in my life too. I've tried to make it in private enterprise. I probably will go back to that after this job. But I do not think what you should do is try to just extract from the community without trying to provide the same public safety. And to a lot of those liquor store owners, bar owners, I'll add in even some of my used car lot owners. Let's go to your neighborhood. Let me set up a liquor store across the street from you. Let me see all of the secondary effects that you get. Let me put a bus stop right next to it. Let's see how long you deal with that. I go around every fancy, posh suburb in this entire city. I do not see a liquor store on every corner in Prairie Village. I can't even tell you where I can find a liquor store, honestly, in Prairie Village and Mission Hills and a bunch of the other cities throughout our region. So I'm just looking for equality, frankly. I'll be straight up. That's all we're looking for. That's what I think most of the residents said they were looking for. You can still open stores. You can still do good business. You're going to have rules. That's what we're looking for long term.
On your next business venture, hustle and shine, we might need, a little job or something, where can we put in that?
Shoot. Be the best law firm in the city, man.
There we go. Man, we appreciate you for tapping in, taking time out to talk all things KC on Hustle and Shine. Please continue to be a blessing this week, Mayor Lucas.
All right, everybody. Have a great week.